This lesson is going to be part 4 of our prototyping for our main project. In this lesson, we're going to focus on the client profile screen, and we're going to add a number animation counting from 0 all the way to the number we have here, which is 13,240 and 9 cents, or whatever you want it to be. It doesn't really matter. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the screen inside of the prototype tab, and we're going to take a look at what wires we have going on here. So the back icon is going all the way to the home, and then we have the view profile linked to this as well. So nothing should really break. We're going to drag this out to the side, select this artboard, and hit Command D or Control D to create a duplicate. We still want the view profile overlay to go to this first screen. And then on the second screen, we want this back icon to take us to the home. So everything is still linked up properly. So we can then shift this back over with our nice 70 even space. So like we did with the home screen, we have the -1 here on the right, and this is going to be our start state, and this is going to be our end state. So we're going to auto animate from this screen to this screen. So this is going to be our starting point. First thing we're going to do is select the number and hit Command C or Control C to create a copy. Then we're just going to go into the pasteboard, and we're going to hit Command V or Control V to paste that in. So our number animation is going to do the typical counting up. So each digit's going to fly up until it gets to the final position. So this is going to be our end number. So I'm just going to put that off to the side, and we're going to build this in individual text boxes. So we have the first digit being 0. I'm going to center that up, and we're just going to put that right below the 9, just like that. We'll actually center this back over here. And we'll hold Alt and create a duplicate. And you want to make sure these are centered, because when we do multiple numbers down this way, you want them all to be centered. So for the next value, it's going to be a period. So we'll have to shift that one back over. And then we can put these on this side. And we're just building this entire number. And it's going to be a little bit longer since we're using individual text boxes, but that's okay. And we'll put the next 2 digits on, and then the final thing is the cash symbol on the end. So there is our 0 to out number. So it's going to animate from this to this number. So we can drag that over here on the side, and we'll zoom out just a little bit. So what we're going to want to do is select the first digit and hit repeat grid, and we're going to drag down. And I'm going to remove all of this spacing in between these numbers, so setting it to 0. And we're going to drag down and double click on the first one, and we're going to input our digits going all the way down. So I'm just extending the repeat grid as I need, and I'm continuing to type in my numbers until I get to digit number 9, which is going to be our stopping point. So what's going to happen is we're going to animate this position up like that to this position. So we'll do that here in a minute. So for the next number, we're going to 0. So I'm just going to copy this entire column. I'm going to drag out one more value, and I'm going to input 0. The next number is 0. So we'll drag that over. This next one's going to go to 4. So I'm just going to create this duplicate. And then we're going to need to drag out 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that one's where that one's going to stop. So we're at 9004, 9004. The next one is a 2. So we'll create a duplicate of this column once more. This time we're going to stop at 2. And I'm just making sure the repeat grid is at the bottom of each one of these numbers. That's where it needs to stop. And then the last one is going to be a 3. So we'll create another duplicate of that. And this time I'm going to drag down very far because we want these digits to animate last. So we're going to go through another series of numbers. And then we're going to get to 3. That is going to be our final number. And then here, we'll drag a duplicate over. And this one is going to go all the way to 1. So I'm going to drag down even further, continuing to count up. So the point here is you want more numbers on the larger value. So when this animates down to this 9, it's going to be faster than it's going to take this one right here, this 1, because it's got to go through more numbers. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So once we're done with that, we can select all these numbers and hit Command G or Control G to group them into one large grouping. Then I'm going to grab a rectangle and I'm going to surround the first number with this rectangle. With that rectangle selected, I'm going to hold Shift and grab the entire number grouping and hit Command Shift M or Control Shift M to mask that with the shape. So now we have our number. So we're going to take this number and we're going to drag it over into our document. Let's see what the spacing is here. 8 pixels above, so we're going to delete that. We're going to center it up with the card. And make sure we have 8 spacing above, which we do. So then we can delete this one, Command C or Control C. I'm going to select the artboard, Command V or Control V to paste that in. So now we have this zeroed out number on both of our start and end states. So now what we need to do is double click to edit the grouping, select the first repeat grid and drag all the way up until the 9 is in its final position. And we're going to do this for each one of these columns. So we're going to drag each one into their final position. This next one is 0. Zero once more. Four. 2, 3, and finally 1. So now what we need to do is head over to the prototype tab, going to select the client profile design screen, drag the arrow to the client profile design -1. This is going to be a timed event with a 0-second delay. It's going to be an auto animate for the action. And I'm going to set this to 2 seconds. We want that number animation nice and slow. It's actually probably going to be pretty quick anyway because it's a large number, but that's okay. So we're going to hit the live preview now, and I'm going to select the contact screen so we can start from there. So we're going to have to select the face, hit view profile, and then our number animates very nicely to completion. So when we load that up, we'll see that animate every single time. So let's watch that one more time. We're going to start with the contact screen, view profile, and it animates into $13,240.09. You could also add the same exact effect we did to the jobs hired number and the positive rating number if you would like. But for now, I'm going to call this done with this number. So that is it for this lesson. That is prototyping part 4. So let's go ahead and take a look at what our main project has came out to be. So I'm going to hit the live preview. We can sign up with our email and it dissolves into the home screen. We have a nice drag effect that we can drag back and forth on the top designers. We can select one of the faces, which brings us to Tim Cloak's profile screen, and we can select the contact button, which auto animates into the message Tim Cloaks. And we have the option to select this face, which brings up the overlay. If we want to view that profile, we can take a look at Mark James's profile and we can see that beautiful auto animation on there, and then we can select the back icon to go back to the home. So that is our main course project done. I hope you guys enjoyed doing that project. That is it for this lesson. As always, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.